Yo, 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 yo. Long time no talk. Hopefully everybody's doing all right. Yeah, I don't have any cool introduction. I just go right into it. I want to catch people up on what I've been doing, what their thoughts are on the 3 preseason games, what people's thoughts are on the season, who they like, who they don't like. Yeah, just to catch up. Like I said, it's been a while since I've been on. I've been so busy with a lot of my family stuff and different things. I just haven't had time to come on myself. So I want to say first of all, thank you for Sean Johnson, Philip Mitchell, Raiders Primos, Eduardo Vigil, and Sinister Rain 89 for popping up and saying what's up. We got 6 people in here. We'll just kind of wait a little bit till people file in. I want to go over my thoughts on what I think. Again, I want to catch people up on what I've been doing family-wise, how the alumni reunion went a couple weeks ago out in Vegas when we played the 49ers. And so the Nation Nightmare, thank you. Jolie, if that's how you say it. I'm not sure. There's a close friend of mine, Brent, who I know is going to be in the comment section. Johnny Morant, a former Raiders receiver from Syracuse that was in my draft class. Very close friend of mine. He may pop up. So, again, I just wanted to answer some questions for you guys. I've been going on so many people's other podcasts and answering questions. I thought, why don't I come on and here, hold on. And can y'all hear me okay? I want to make sure you guys can hear me all right. Raider Tim, thanks for pulling up. Sen Cal 805. Flocka Waka, what's up, bro? Long time no see. And Desert Raider. Let's see who else we got. Afakasi. Yo, what's up, brother? I'll get to that. I love Afakasi. He's fucking straight business, man. No high, no whatever. Hey, Stu, how you feel about the running backs besides Jacobs? I love it. The Nation Nightmare. PGN 922. All right, cool. Thank you. Oh, yeah, no, Zeus. From what I'm hearing, he had 3 carries for 3 yards, averaging 1 yard per carry. Now, I will say this. Watching that last preseason game, though, I thought Williams, number 32, I thought he had some nice runs. I thought that great vision on that cutback, great breakaway speed. Later on in the game, guys were trying to tackle him and he's stiff-arming them and stuff, showing a physical presence. Yeah, Damian Williams for sure. Absolutely. And obviously Abdullah, he's not a down running back. He's a scat back, a guy that catch balls out of the backfield, screens, look flares, and obviously a special teams guy. But I like what he does bring. I think he's a great adjustment. Is he? I'm probably talking about him. Is he still with us at this point? All right, let's see. I guess, you know what? Fuck it. Let's get into it. Aunt Sick, what's up? Aunt Six, what's up, brother? Okay, all right, good. Yeah. No, Sinister though, I think he's an asset to us. I like what he did last year. He's kind of that change up, right? We can do a lot of things with him. Yeah, so I'm excited, and hopefully that he sticks with us, because I think he could be a huge asset for us. Let's see. Sean Johnson, what's up? All right, let's see. Okay. Damian Williams should have been Super Bowl. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, I liked what I saw from him. Again, one, a big part of a running back's game is his vision, man. Like, yeah, speed, power, agility, being able to break tackles are all very important, being able to block, but vision is probably number one. And, I mean, although the play was probably set up for a cutback, but I loved it. I thought he had great vision. And I thought he played tough. Again, he was physical. And again, when you have a physical running back, that's just another thing that the defense has to think about. And especially that secondary. When they have to worry about a guy breaking through that front 7, used to be a front 8, actually probably now maybe front 6, and getting free, knowing that he could run you over and embarrass you, that's another thing to think about. Although, in today's game and with today's players, I don't even know if players can get embarrassed nowadays. They miss tackles, they get run over, they get balls caught on them, and it's just, all right, well, whatever. I don't see any sense of embarrassment or whatnot. So who knows if these guys even get embarrassed. But back in our day, when you had a physical running back, that was something else you had to think about. I know for me, when I was preparing for, let's say, LaDainian Tomlinson or Reggie Bush or, Dante Hall or Tiki Barber, it was different because, can you maybe get juked out and, you missed a tackle, big deal. But when you're preparing for guys like TJ Duckett and Ronnie Brown and Larry Johnson and let's see, Ricky Williams and Brandon Jacobs, Amon Green, Reuben Drones, Beast Mode, guys like that, Adrian Peterson, knowing there's an extra element of this guy could embarrass me physically on film, not only to my teammates, but to the nation, to everyone watching. That's where you start to eat a man's soul, is when you can physically just ta-tam and keep going. That's something you really need to think about, just like a physical defense. Back when receivers would watch film, when there's a guy back there knowing like, yeah, I might catch a ball, but I'm going to fucking feel it. And there's a guy back there that's going to knock the shit out of me. It's another thing they have to think about now in today's game, right? They know they can come across the middle. As long as they're not looking, no one can hit them. Back in the day, coming across the middle, boy, that was no man's land, man. There was no, hey, you first of all, you better not even think you can come across the middle. And secondly, if you do catch it, you are going to feel that motherfucker. So the physical aspect of a player is huge mentally for the team that's preparing for them. So again, that was about Williams. I thought he showed that. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. And please, guys, talk amongst yourself in the chat. All right. Cut Zamir and sincerely roll with Williams and draft a running back next year. Surely they could do better than both these. Yeah, I believe you. That's a, yep. Okay. So obviously, I mean, let's go right to it. Cut the bullshit. Aidan O'Connell, 41 of 58, 70%, 624, 3 touchdowns, 6 touchdown drives, 0 interceptions, QB rating 108. Can a guy come in as a rookie and have a better preseason? I've never seen it. I haven't seen starting quarterbacks, Hall of Famers come in and have Super Bowl champions come in and have a better preseason. And I don't know if you guys haven't, take a look at me and Docs did a did probably about an hour and 15-minute breakdown of Aidan O'Connell and what I thought about him and why he's good and why I'm so happy the Raiders picked him up and what type of player he was. And he's making me look really good because everything I've said has come true so far. And not to toot my own horn, but I've always been good. I have two older brothers, and one of my brothers, Troy, and me have always been good on judging talent, evaluating. That's why I'd love to be in the front office of a team or a recruiting coordinator for a college. Because I'm always amazed at why some guys get so much hype and other guys don't. And some of these guys, I don't know what they draft on. It's bad. A lot of these front office people are fucking bad. And there's a couple that are really good. And here's what happens. The ones that are really good, the teams that draft well, the teams that do well, other guys tend to kind of look and see what they're doing, right? Who are they? Who are they talking to, and who do they like? Instead of them doing their own fucking research and doing their own due diligence and having a little knowledge of what a good football player is, they want to take the easy way out and just what's this team looking at, right? So what teams do is they will actually hype up a guy that they don't want, knowing another team will draft that guy just because they think this team wants him. On the flip side, a guy that they really like, they don't let anyone know it. They try to keep that to themselves. But besides that, so again, you know, I love telling this story of Aidan O'Connell. First of all, I want any of my Purdue brothers, when they get drafted, to do well. And especially if they come to the Raiders, I mean, shit. That's like all things line up great, especially at a position like quarterback, which we've been needing. But I tell the story about Aidan O'Connell, which shows the character of this guy. And I'll get into why these numbers are thank you, Sean, for putting these up, because they go right into line of one, why they drafted him, and two, what I think is one of his biggest attributes as a quarterback. But when I moved back to Purdue about 6 years ago, our team chaplain at Purdue was a guy named Marty Ditmar, a very, very great man, close friend of mine, someone I still talk, someone who's still here at Purdue. Well, he's a head of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. And I moved back here about in the spring. Oh, God, what would have been now? 2017, around there, I think. And he said, Stu, would you want to come and talk to be the keynote speaker at the Fellowship of Christian Athletes end of the year banquet? I said, absolutely, I would, Marty. So I go down there, you know, and there's probably 50 athletes from all sports, men's, women. And I talk for 20, 25 minutes, which I love. I love getting up and giving speeches and talking, especially to the youth or anyone at Purdue, obviously. And this young man comes up to me afterwards, sticks his hand out and says, Mr. Schweigert, he says, thank you so much for coming in and talking. I thought what you said was very inspiring, motivational, and informative. I was impressed because, you know, a lot of times people don't give a fuck. They really don't, especially the younger generations, you know, because they have everything. They know everything, right? These kids nowadays, they know everything. They got it all planned. They got it all figured out. And I said, wow, that's impressive. I said, young man, I said, what's your name? And he said, sir, my name's Aidan O'Connell. And I said, what sport do you play? He says, I play football. I said, what position? He said, I'm a walk-on quarterback from Illinois. Freshman walk-on quarterback. No. I said, what position? He said, quarterback. I said, he said, I'm a freshman quarterback. Walk-on. I said, okay. I said, where are you at on the depth chart? He said, I'm 8th. And this isn't I'm not exaggerating. He was 8th on the depth chart at this point. Non-scholarship walk-on. And obviously, anyone that knows anything about Purdue is called the cradle of quarterbacks. as far as quarterbacks go and success in the NFL, there's no other university that has had more success at that position than Purdue. You know, Bob Greasy, you know, Jim Everett, Drew Brees, Kyle Orton. Oh God, I'm forgetting. You know, Mark Herman. There's a bunch of them. Len Dawson. You know, a lot of great quarterbacks. Anyways, I said, you know what? I said, the fact that you came up here and looked me in the eye and shook my hand, I said, you've got high character, and I said, stick with it, and you'll get an opportunity, and when you get that opportunity, take advantage of it. You know, comes in and finishes his career, and one of the things that I highlighted when I was talking with Docs on his channel was he's Purdue's all-time leader in career completion percentages. Forgive me, I shouldn't. I think it's like 71.2. I just say he finished his career at 72%. And again, some of the quarterbacks I just named, Drew Brees alone, Kyle Orton, like I said, Everett, Dawson, Greasy. In his career, his completion percentage is higher than any of those guys. So he's a guy that, and if I'm thinking of quarterbacks, what statistics are important? Because statistics can be used in any way that you want. You know, you can take any statistic and prove a guy's good, and take those same statistics and prove why a guy's bad, or whatever. So a statistic that I'm thinking, yards are good, but there's so many things that go into why a quarterback gets a lot of yards. Who are his receivers? What's his offense? What's the style of offense he's in? You know, how many touchdown passes? I think one of the biggest ones is completions. I want a guy who's going to complete passes. He's making passes that his receivers can catch, or at least get in position for his receivers to catch. And finishing 72 in his career, one of the things that McDaniels loved was his completion percentage. And as you can see here, 70% of his passes were completed. And I'm going to say probably, and Sean, you probably know this, how many of those, let's see, so 17 incompletes, if my math is right. How many of those 17 incompletes were just dropped balls? I'd be interested to see that, because I know the first game he was 18 of 15, and 3 of his incompletes, 2 of them were drop balls. So that's not his fault. So again, he's the guy who's going to, and as you can see, he's comfortable in the pocket. He's got poise. He makes decisions. He gets it out there. And he's a guy who no matter whatever position, whatever the situation, he's going to go in, and he's not flustered. He's not afraid. He's been the last guy on the depth chart, and went in there and knowing, if I screw up one time, my career's probably over with, and went out there and played really well. Beat a lot of good. I mean, went into Iowa when they were number 2 in the country and beat them. Beat Michigan State at home when they were number 2 in the country. He's been in huge games and played very well. So, I don't want him to be the starter. I think he could be. I'd rather see him go the Aaron Rodgers route. You know, let Garoppolo be the guy these next 2 years. Let Aidan sit back behind him. You know, get some cleanup duty after we're up by a bunch of points, or at least we know if there is a ding with Garoppolo, this kid can come in and give us a pretty good chance to win. But I'd rather see him sit, learn as much as he can, keep his body fresh, and then year 3, come in and be the quarterback for the next 10 seasons and win us a couple Super Bowls is what I'd like to see. So, all right. What do we got here? Yep. Like I said, he's making me look. Oh, but what I was going back to about knowing evaluation of talent, and I'm sure you guys have seen me, you know, you'll sit there and all these guys get worked up about one guy, and I'll sit there and go, that guy's fucking shit. That guy's, why are we pumping this guy up? Because I want to know if guys can play football. It's amazing to me how many people scout off of numbers? Numbers don't win games. Football players win games. There's certain universities, and especially specifically in the Pac-12. Roy Manning, the defensive back coach for USC, guy who coached a long time, a guy I played with, guy from Saginaw, played linebacker at Michigan, played for the Green Bay Packers, a very close friend of mine. I asked him a couple of years ago, how do you recruit? And he said, Stu, to be honest with you, in the Pac-12, he said each position there's a certain standard that we have to look at. So a certain height, a certain weight, a certain speed, a certain agility, or otherwise we don't even look at their film. I said, really? So if a guy's 1 inch under a linebacker, if he's under 6'2", we don't even look at him. I said, wow. I said he said, that's just how it is for us. And I'm thinking, man, I'm not looking at any of that shit. I'm going up and pulling up some film and seeing how this guy plays play after play. Seeing if he plays multiple positions, seeing if he plays special teams, seeing if he goes out, seeing if he's a good teammate, if he's encouraging his friends, if someone else makes a tackle, is he happy for him, or does he even acknowledge them? That's what I'm looking at. And then if there comes down to two players and I like both their film, then I'm pulling up the thing and going, all right, who measures out better? Because I gotta pick one out of these two guys somehow. And sometimes you look at it and this guy's faster. This guy's has a longer broad jump. Somewhere down the road, you have to decide. And then that's when I pull out the numbers. But to recruit strictly off that, I think is fucking stupid. Absolutely fucking stupid. All right, let's see here. Okay. Okay, so Josh Jacobs signed, and that's what I thought. I thought, you know what, they're going to sit back, and here's the deal as an organization. Why wouldn't they sit back and see if maybe there's a guy that could be a better running back than him, right? So you're going to see who we have and then realize, like, no, we need to get this guy back. Or, hey, we got some guys that, to be honest with you, if he doesn't come back, I think we're going to be all right. So you offer a different type of deal. So, I mean, that's just good front office acumen to go through, evaluate these guys and go, all right, now we know we need this guy back. I don't see any problem with that. Yeah, right here, like I talked about. I mean, I'm a little bit behind on the comments here, guys. But again, when there's a physical Steven Jackson, you know, a guy that was in my draft class, actually one of the last preseason game of my rookie year, we played the Rams, and he was in the game the whole time. I think I tackled him 12 or 13 times, and the coaches were like, okay, this kid Stewart can play. But it adds an element that you have to think about. Missing a tackle because the guy juked you, whatever. Getting fucking run over and physically embarrassed, that's a little harder to shake off. What's up, Stu? So the last preseason game, I mean, there's some issues. There were some issues. There were some issues. There were some issues with the secondary. One, which I can get if guys aren't fast enough, or guys technique wise can't match up, or they're getting out jumped, and maybe a guy's making a great catch on them. But it was the angles, it was the physicality, and it was the tackling that disappointed me, and really getting off blocks. Those receivers, Dallas's receivers were killing our guys. They couldn't get off blocks. And then coming up and not only missing a tackle physically, but some of them just terrible angles. For instance, and forgive me, 20 Pau Mao, however I always call him Pau Mao. A guy that I'm big on, a guy I was big on last year when we got him through free agency, a guy that I think could become a really good player for us. He had some bad angles. I mean, that first series there, they threw a little look pass to a receiver, and he came down and just completely missed it, not even close. But the one good thing is he did go outside and make the guy come inside. But yeah, I mean, I thought our secondary, I mean, physically just got abused. Again, they weren't getting off blocks, bad angles, missing tackles, bad angles by our linebacker 59. And then I'm not exactly sure. I mean, Will Greer looked like a freaking Hall of Famer against us. Our linebacker number 57. I'm not sure what his deal is, but it was ugly. And then towards the end, their gap responsibility was just terrible with our defensive linemen up front. No one knew what gap they were supposed to be in. I don't know if the D line was jumping out of gaps. The one touchdown where I think it may have been the first one or the second one where Greer scrambled and number 26, I think, the DB, the safety, clearly had the tight end and his eyes were just in a bad spot and he just didn't know where to look. And not only that, he wasn't really guarding the tight end and he should have came up and made a tackle on the quarterback. He didn't do that. So he was stuck in an area where, like, pick one, either guard the guy or go make the tackle. But either way, he could have threw it or ran it, which was bad eyes. But again, that happens. I mean, again, guys, Dallas was 0-2 up to that point. And, we're playing with a lot of guys that are third and fourth string, guys that are good players, but they're at that position because they are limited physically. They are limited mentally or football IQ wise. So, but yeah, that was the one thing. And really physicality and angles take zero talent. That's just a want to, that's just a mentality, a culture. So that does concern me. I would hope that the younger guys, would learn off of the older guys. And I would hope that angles, knowing your responsibilities, getting off blocks would be something that's taught throughout. And that the fact that we weren't doing that, is not what's going to get you ahead in the Raiders organization. It's going to get you embarrassed and filmed the next day. So you would think that those guys at least would be able to do that. Who gives a fuck if they miss an assignment or, they technique wise, they step with the wrong foot or whatever. I can live with that. But the fundamentals of football, I thought looked bad for the corners and safeties and some of the linebackers. I'm ahead. Hey, thanks, Flocka Waka. Thanks for coming in, brother. I actually do have an AO4 jersey. I was going to wear it to the reunion, but it's that 4. I did not want people to think I was repping Derek Carr. That was the main reason I didn't want to do it. I almost wanted to put Aidan O'Connell on the front and the back. So, Eric G, what's up, Casper? Thank you very much. Thanks, Thrash. Hey, CG Ruthless, what's up, brother? Hey, CG, if you're still in here, how is Jesus? How's my boy doing? I saw him have a couple tackles against the Raiders. My God. Fuck. Just completely blew my fucking Jalen Graham. Jesus. Stu, Jalen Graham is a beat. Okay. Yes. Hell yeah, dude. Another Purdue guy. So Jalen Graham from this draft pick, another guy I mentored, a guy who's from Detroit, was similar to me, was a quarterback / safety, came in at safety. They ended up moving him down to kind of that hybrid outside linebacker. Great player. Another guy, Payne Durham, a tight end. I wish we would have drafted. Has been doing great for Tampa. Corey Trice, a cornerback, hurt his knee. He's with Pittsburgh. Charlie Jones, a very, very good receiver. Actually played with Aidan O'Connell in youth football. Played at Buffalo, then Iowa, then for us. Drafted by the Bengals. Hasn't had a chance to really show what he can do, but a lot of the guys from Purdue are doing well. And Jalen Graham, again, is a guy that I mentored, a very, very close friend of mine. I love his family. That's awesome to hear. I'm really pumped. And obviously, you know that John Lynch loves his physicality, a very physical player. I mean, 6'4", 225, 230, just fucking ripped. Good player. Very good player. Thanks for sending that in, CG. How you feeling about the defense? It has holes. I know one thing. I also thought, we've struggled offensively on short yardage. I thought we saw that against Dallas. You saw penetration by their front guys, and then when we had chances on 3rd and 1, we had to throw on 4th and 2, and luckily Aidan O'Connell's percentage is so high. If we have to throw it to get first downs, you don't like that. But if we're able to do it, then do it. I'd like to see us run it. Obviously, we don't have, again, it's preseason and stuff. But I thought when you looked at what Dallas did with their front 3 or 4 penetration compared to what our guys did, it was night and day. I mean, ours wasn't even close. So I'd like to see our defense, again, didn't look so good. They didn't. Gap responsibility, I thought was bad. Angles, I thought were bad. Getting off blocks, I thought were bad. Again, I think up front, guys were jumping out of gaps, which allowed Greer to scramble way too much. And then I thought once the guy does scramble, get down there and fucking hit him, but we couldn't get off blocks. I thought Dallas did a phenomenal job of, once the quarterback scrambles, turning into blockers, and our guys couldn't get off the blocks. JR, thank you very much. Casper, let's see. Stu, just want to take a minute and say thank you for coming on and giving your perspective. Content creators do a great job and know the game, but hearing from someone who plays, Casper, I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. And that means a lot. It does, because at times there are times where I watch and I listen and I do my due diligence and I do my studying of what makes a content creator great. Why does this guy have so many followers? What is it that he's saying? What are his predictions? What are his evaluations? And a lot of time it can be laughable at times. And the unfortunate thing about it is they have, a lot of people that's who people go to that content creator to get their opinions. So when they're at work the next day, they can talk about the game and have these points and this and that. And I just want to give reality. I want to give what's really evaluated, what's really looked at, what's really important. And here's the deal. I don't know everything. I'm not saying that my word is law or whatever, but I've always been good on being a pretty good evaluator and being able to take a game of football, which has so many stats and numbers and so many reasons of why a team is good and bad, and trying to take and condense that to 3 or 4 things that people should look for. I tell you one thing. I mean, I am fucking very happy, that Daniel Carlson's on our team. That guy is a fucking stud. Holy shit. That guy is an absolute stud. And you saw it was it yesterday we played, right? Today's Sunday. Yeah, yesterday. Oh, huge advantage having him. And our punter as well. We got 2 great, reminds me a lot of Seabass, Janikowski, and Shane Leckler, that type of deal. Those guys are phenomenal. Yeah, I think Zeus is done. Boom, there you go. Look at that. Number 1, 3rd down percentage, 1st down percentage. I mean, that's what you want. I mean, I talk about breaking down the game and some simple statistics. See what a quarterback is on 3rd down. 3rd down is just as important as 1st down, fellas. And then touchdown percentage. And right there, boom, number 1. What else could you ask for? All due respect, you need to go get Matthew Shack, which is on live right now, and get him to come on with you right now. Who's Matthew Shack? I'm not sure who that is. Are you saying I need to get him on because he's good, or I need to check his ass and fucking give him some fucking knowledge? Sad part, Will Greer will be cut after a good... Oh, will he really? He'll be gone? Fuck, I thought he looked great. I thought it was really cool that Dak Prescott was calling the game. Holy fuck, man. That shows the coaching staff, their God, what would I say? Their confidence in allowing a player to call the game. I mean, coaches sometimes get so... They got to prove that they're the best. Shit. How long have I been on mute? Motherfucker. Will was also told he was cut. Okay. Wow, that's... Well, fuck. I guess that, man. I will say this. Shit, being transparent to the players, which management usually isn't, I would have liked to have that knowledge. Hey, Stu, just so you know, after this season, we're probably going to get rid of you. Rather than them blowing smoke up your ass. Oh, no, you're our guy. You got nothing to worry about it. So, or you just don't tell the kid anything. And then you cut them. And all of a sudden you're going, what the fuck just happened? You know, and then you're like, if you're going to, at least if you're going to cut me, let me know why. So when I go to another team, I'm not doing the same thing. Shoot. We can't hear you. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. 5 minutes. Okay. Okay. All right. You didn't miss too much, I don't think. Wonder why the hell that happened. Anyways. No, again, guys, hey, thank you guys so much for coming up. I don't want to go too long. I just kind of wanted to come back on, reintroduce myself to my channel, since I've gone on other people's channels. I just haven't gone on mine. I saw this preseason game. I at least wanted to come up and see what was going to happen, see what you guys thought. Yeah, but again, preseason, I really don't, and I think you guys can probably all agree with me on this. I know CG can. I really don't think it's any prediction of how the team's going to be. At least it gives us an idea of what some players can do. But as a team, I don't think you can get it's just tough because there's just so many factors that go into it. The offenses are washed down. They're letting players out there that they know aren't going to play. So there's so much things that go into it. But we will know. I would say I'll have a pretty good idea after week 3. Week 3, week 4-ish, I can have a pretty good idea how I think this team is going to be. CG, I'll give you a call after this, okay? But hey, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate the support. Hopefully everyone has been doing well. Hopefully everyone's summer was great. Hopefully everyone's, kids, if you have kids, are back in school and things are going good. I plan on getting a little more regular. I've got some really cool things planned for me. Some things at the reunion I talked to with some players. So I'll have another show where I'll kind of talk about the reunion and, again, what I've been doing. I wanted more or less just to talk about the game and about the preseason and what's coming up in the future. So, yeah. Hey, guys, thank you very much. Enjoy your Sunday, and go Raiders.